Rodrigo Yanez is Chile's Vice Minister of Trade. He tells CGTN the government is working on the problem that triggered the protests.
There is a government actively listening and delivering. And as a government with a duty also not to hear also our people, but also to connect with the opposition in our country. We are working in an agenda that's being delivering and will keep delivering in the Congress. And that I think we have a historical time to keep the good way and path that we've been so successful at. My country has reduced poverty from 68% 30 years ago to down to 8%. And that middle class has a whole set of new demands, and I think we need to address them jointly as a nation with a very active ear on that. The thing is that in order to be prosper and in order to also be equal, we need to have something to distribute. That is wealth, and that is created out of an economic model that delivers, that works. And that's what my country has been doing in the past year. So I mentioned just a few figures on the reduction of poverty, but also we lead in the region, in Latin America, in the Social Development Index. We are the top, GDP per capita, but those figures need, and this is a discussion on why it's so important this discussion, because it's not unique for Chile. There are many other countries in the region and in other regions of the world that in this context are much more aware of these differences, these gaps that we need to bridge. So I think what's important is that we take stock of how successful we have been, but at the same time address the concerns of our people, the desire and hopes of our people, by building a more equal society, a society that delivers for us all, that is able to cope with the demands of this growing middle class that today represents 52% of our people. So when the government launched its new social agenda with a sense of urgency, of course there are measures, well, a freeze in all main utilities that also relate to the high cost of living. So of course it all started by this increase in our metro fares, which was put to a halt, but also we added toll roads, we added power, utility bills to freeze over time, and that along with pensions like you've mentioned, but also with health coverage. Today our middle class is concerned that they cannot cope, for instance, when they deal with a catastrophic disease. So now we're putting a cap so that no Chilean is without proper medical treatment when they have to deal with this kind of disease. But these are measures that are very significant, but I would say what's most relevant out of this process, because we've had 2 very rough weeks, but very good things have also come out of these 2 weeks. And that, I think, is the transversal nationwide consensus around the need to tackle inequality.